All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle a huge problem that almost every business faces. How do you make sense of all your data? And we're going to look at the one tool that's really designed to solve it, Microsoft's Power BI. You know the feeling, right? You've got spreadsheets, databases, sales figures, it's everywhere. You're practically drowning in information. But when you try to find the actual story hidden inside all those numbers, it can feel, well, impossible. And that, right there, is the core of the problem. It's not about getting more data, it's about getting clarity. So if you're looking to turn all that chaos into real, actionable insights, you've come to the right place. So let's get to it. The tool we're going to break down is Microsoft Power BI. But what is it really, and why does it seem like everyone is using it these days? Okay, put simply, Power BI is a tool that grabs all your messy, raw data and magically transforms it into these beautiful, interactive, and super easy to understand visual stories. Think about it like this. It takes you from staring at endless rows of numbers to clicking on charts and maps that actually tell you what's going on. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper. Why is everybody talking about Power BI? I'll tell you, it's not just hype. The numbers and the features, they really do back it up. Just look at this chart from Google Trends. It tells a really clear story. For years, the search interest for Power BI has been climbing and climbing, blowing past some of its major competitors. This shows you that it's not just a tool that companies are pushing on their employees, it's something people are actively looking for. And honestly, the price is one of the biggest reasons why. The Pro version, which is what lets you share and collaborate, is just $10 a month per user. That's it. That ridiculously low price just blows the doors wide open for everyone, from tiny startups to massive corporations, to get their hands on some seriously powerful tools. But hey, it's not just about being cheap. This thing is incredibly powerful. You've got top industry analysts like Gartner calling it a market leader. It connects to pretty much any data source you can dream of. And get this, you can download the desktop app and start building reports for free, totally free. Now, to really understand how Power BI works, it helps to think of it in two main parts. I like to call them the workshop and the gallery. Trust me, this little analogy makes the whole system so much easier to grasp. So here's how it all flows. First, you connect to your data. Then, you use that free Power BI desktop app. That's your workshop. It's where you do all the heavy lifting. You clean up the data, design your charts, and really craft your story. Then, once it's perfect, you hit publish. That sends your report up to the Power BI service, which is the online gallery. From there, you just share a simple web link with your team, and they can see and play with your masterpiece right in their browser. Workshop to gallery. Simple as that. Okay, enough with the concepts. Let's see what you can actually create with Power BI. We're going to take some boring old data and really make it come to life. We'll start with something we've all seen a million times, a table of data. This one's got sales and profit for different products. I mean, sure, the information's all there, but is it insightful? Can you spot a trend in like 2 seconds? Not really. It's just a wall of numbers. This is where Power BI completely changes the game. What happens when we ask it to just turn this table into a picture? And bam! Instantly, we get something like this. With literally one click, that boring table becomes a clean donut chart. Now you can see immediately how much of your sales are from technology versus furniture. The insight is just there. That's the real power of visualization. But we don't have to stop there. Not even close. One of the coolest things about Power BI is how you can layer visuals on top of each other. So what if we wanted to see that same sales breakdown, but for every single state in the country? You can actually do that. This is a map where each bubble is a state, but each bubble is also a tiny pie chart showing you the sales mix for that specific place. In just a few seconds, you can spot regional differences that would have been completely buried in a spreadsheet. Okay, but what about the ultimate data storytelling tool, animation? Can we actually make our data move? Oh, you bet. Power BI lets you animate your charts. You can take a static scatter plot and turn it into a moving story. Just imagine watching these little bubbles, each one a product, moving across the screen, showing you exactly how their sales and profits grew or shrank, year after year. You're not just looking at a snapshot, you're literally watching the trend unfold before your eyes. Now, the visuals are amazing, but Power BI's final trick might just be its most powerful, and it's all about putting your reporting on autopilot. Just look at this comparison. The old way is so painful, right? You manually export data, you rebuild reports every week, you email static files that are already outdated by tomorrow. The Power BI way, it connects live to your data. The reports refresh themselves automatically on a schedule, and everybody just uses one single link to see the latest version. This is what I call the set it and forget it principle. You do the hard work of building the report one time. After that, the Power BI service just takes over, automatically updating everything for you. So every single time somebody looks at your report, they are seeing the freshest, most accurate information possible, and you didn't have to lift a finger. So we've gone from these tedious tables to instant insights, from flat charts to animated maps, and from hours of manual work to full automation. Power BI is really just a tool for telling stories with data. Which leaves us with just one question. What story is hidden in your data, just waiting to be told?